So hey, I just wanted to do an open trade analysis, and real quick, I'm going to try to share this video. I'm actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I think I should have got the link before I started this. So, anyways, sometimes my voice is already warmed up. I've already been talking, and I may sound different from video to video. Some videos I haven't been talking all day, for example. Today I've already been talking, so my vocal cords are already warmed up. And I just wanted to share any thoughts that came to mind while I'm in a stronger position vocally. And so let's see what comes to mind, because I had some ideas before I started this, but right now I'm kind of drawing a blank. Um, I'd like to do these more often, at least once a week actually. Um, this is an open trade, as you can see in the title, Forex Open Trade Analysis. So the trade is already open. Maybe some of the titles that come out, some of the videos may be titled um, pre-trade analysis, close trade analysis. Um, so these are just some ideas that I'm kind of just putting out there. So I tend to focus more on timing. Um, and I opened this trade up on 420 at, I think that's at 1400, 1402. This is the hourly chart. So here's 420.14. I got in on this candle. It dropped 30 pips, aka 300 points, and I didn't close it. I had a feeling it was going to go up. I mean, I knew it was going to go up because the weekly chart, as you can see, actually, you might not be able to see because the quality of these videos is very poor. They're really blurry, I've noticed, and I don't know exactly why. It may have to do with my internet speed. It may be something else. Um, I don't know if I have any other options for going live with a clear video so you can clearly see what I'm looking at on this chart. Um, I could always pre-record these videos and then upload them. I'm just trying to get into doing live videos because I just think that they're better. And but on the stochastic, just continuing with this video for now. I'll look into trying to fix that, maybe that blurriness, but for now, the stochastic on the weekly chart is pointed up. Even the monthly is pointed up, and not only that, but if you look at the MACD is sloping up on the monthly as well as the weekly, and so there's upside momentum. So I know that, but we also know that the market has pullbacks. So once the stochastic crossed here the RSI on the daily chart, this is a potential pullback. However, if you notice the actually, I'm calling it the RSI. I meant to say the moving average, or excuse me, the MACD average line, which is a darker blue line, because you can see I have a lighter blue line right here, and then a darker blue line that tends to follow the histogram, these red lines that go up and down on the MACD. But if you look at that MACD average line, this darker blue line, it makes a high here and it's currently making a higher high. So that means there's upside potential. So that's another confirmation. We just looked at the monthly and the weekly, and we could see that the MACD was sloping upward on those. And here we do not have divergence on the next chart down. So again, it's bullish overall for the most part. And even though it's stochastic crossed, with that upside momentum, any pullback would be minor, but minor compared to the overall trend. However, it can still give you several hundred points. Okay, so as we can see with this pullback, we dropped one candle And just to look at the distance it went from 29, about 25, 26, down to 27, 50. So almost 1,000 points or 200 pips, closing higher, and has started to bounce back and have that upside momentum that you can see. The stochastics is still pointed down, but the RSI has inflected and started to turn back up, or to appear to turn back up. However, we're not closing higher at this point, so it seems or appears to be flattening out. It's beginning to go sideways until it builds up enough momentum to take its next move. So when we drop down one more chart, we can see that we haven't really broken out. We've mostly just stayed sideways at this level. We earlier today did make a higher high out of this sideways motion. We broke a little higher, and it's beginning to retrace and pull back. Again, these moving averages are sloping higher, so we have plenty of support here. Price came back twice to the level that I entered. I could have set a stop loss to close out my trade automatically at that point, or even a take profit. It would have closed my trade at that level. And let's see, today is the 22nd, so I've had this trade open 2 days. And had I closed it at that level, the most I would have lost would have been the swap, which is just pennies. So I'm trying to see what else I can say about this. I'm looking at the stochastics and the MACD and the RSI down here. As far as timing, because that's what I wanted to mention, that was really the reason I brought up this whole video. As far as timing, when I entered this on the 20th at around 1400, which would have been around 9 p.m. at night, I believe that was on Tuesday or Wednesday. Actually, it was in the morning. It was about 9 a.m., not 9 p.m. So, so 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. And, okay, with that in mind, I already knew that the weekly was trending up on the weekly chart. So I knew that at some point before the end of the week, it was going to go higher. Okay, so I also knew that with the daily pointing down, this is the indicators down here, having already crossed, that there was downside momentum. And with the daily being a shorter time frame chart, I knew that in the short run, it was more likely to pull back some, or in this case, to hold at this level and not break out and go higher. So to set the take profit or stop loss to exit the trade if it came back to my entry price, which again, it did twice do that. So with that in mind, as Thursday approached, I mean, the week is pretty much over. That's what I'm telling myself, right? That's what I was telling myself yesterday. And that is how I tend to look at it. I mean, I feel like if I'm not in early and I'm in late, then I'm taking a trade that's most likely not going to play out until the following week. So I knew that being in this trade, the longer I stayed in the trade as time passed and we got closer and closer to the end of the week, I already knew that if I was going to continue to be in this trade, it was most likely going to be into the following week before I made any type of decision, because I knew that the following week, yes, we could see this get stronger, or we could see that the weekly gives in and begins to do a pullback as we're starting a new week. Maybe the indicator would cross, or maybe the daily would get stronger to the downside. Maybe the monthly would back off. We're close to the end of the month. We're approaching the last week. I believe this is the last week's 22nd. Yeah, so we have one more week left. So if anything, I guess I'm buying time, hoping that it turns back in my favor. Maybe hoping isn't the best option as a trader. I definitely need to back test and study the chart more to regain the confidence that I know is available by doing that, by back testing. And let's see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. I think fives are key, the number five. So 5 candles, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. I tend to look for fives. Anything that I can get into, that's anything that's good. Any trade that's of quality will tend to give you at least five. So if I'm trading on the hourly chart, I'm gonna get at least a good coming up on 5 hours. A good trade that's likely to last at least 5 hours. Um, what else? Let's see. You know, let's see. If it was the 4 hour chart, I can be confident that I have at least about 20 hours. 5 candles, each 4 hours long. It's going to give me a good 20 hours, close, approximately 20 hours. I mean, it can give or take, right? So it could be a little less than that, depending on what time you got in on the candle. You may not have entered until the first hour passed. So, or not the first hour, but the first 4 hour candle may have already closed. So that would give you about 16 hours. But that still works for some people, depending on your time frame. Me, I haven't quite decided what time frame I want because I tend to try to be an expert, try to specialize, try to get as much detail as I can. Um, Even though keeping it simple is probably the best way to go. Had success trading off the daily chart using the 30-minute chart as an entry. Um, Usually those trades I would enter in the evening at the open, near the open of the new day, and swing them into the morning, overnight into the next morning, and wake up and close them. And that was just more of a beginner, I guess, type of trade for me. I know there are more advanced ways to approach that. That, though, was sufficient. If I had focused in, honed on that, or if I do focus in, hone on that, that could make a master trader. But because there are, because each chart will give a setup so many times out of within a period of time, I felt like there was more to be had. I mean, maybe I was being greedy. I'm not sure, but I just felt like I guess I could do better. Is what I was kind of thinking. Like, maybe I could hold my trades longer. I could study more and see, like, am I holding these trades longer? Am I giving it enough time? And I didn't quite get into that. Everything started to change. And with the coronavirus, I'm not even going to blame the coronavirus because everything was changing in my life before that happened. And everything started um, I'm trying to play this back in my mind now. How long has it been? So let's see, April, January. It's been about a year and a half now, actually, where things have started to improve. Even a little over that. It's been going on almost 2 years now. And I'm starting to try to pick this up. I do not tend to be a talker or someone who really interacts with people a whole lot. Um, that was part of my struggle as well. I've always kind of shied away from the spotlight. Never really wanted to, have a lot of attention on myself. But I'm working on myself. I'm trying to, you know, contribute and give and help and support whatever. You know, it's not good for people to be alone type of thing. So, you know, I try to interact a little bit more than I used to. I'll just say that. But it's probably more balanced out at this point. I guess not as much as it was back in 2017 when I first learned how to trade, and it's not as, you know, little or small as it has been. It's you know, at points in my life where I didn't talk to anybody pretty much. So maybe this is just a process of me balancing this out. And I know I'm probably saying a lot. I can talk a lot when I do get started talking. I can talk for a long period of time when I get started talking. But I really tend to be the type of person that it thinks that I would prefer to have everything that I'm going to say written out, so I say exactly what I want to say. I used to be very uncomfortable if I stuttered, if my words didn't come out quick enough, if I, you know, if I messed up. But that's just a part of communicating. That's what I've learned, and you just kind of keep going. Just let the words just keep coming out, and then it just changes. And you know, before you know it, you know, you've said a lot. So I don't want to overdo it, and I think I covered what I wanted to cover. I went over the timing with you guys. Hope this helps. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you next time. Bye for now.